Hey guys, so I am going to be filming a scrap room tour today, or I guess I should call it a scrap room, a scrap space tour, because it's not really a room dedicated to scrapbooking. But anyway, so I made a couple changes and I thought I would share them with you since my last scrap room tour was over a year ago, I think. Not sure about that, but probably so. So not everything's perfect. My desk is a bit messy. So I'll tell you where everything should be, but not all of it is where it should be. So I scrapbook in my bedroom. So this is it. I'm standing at the door entering. So my scrapbooking stuff are in various different areas. So I got my desk. There's drawers under my desk. Three of them have scrapbooking stuff. I have two bookshelves there with bookshelves there with scrapbooking stuff, and then I also got a closet behind this door that I'm going to get to pretty soon. So first thing I wanted to mention was the fact that that sofa thingy, that mess there, isn't normally there. I usually have my nice purple chair, but I didn't get a chance to move it back in, so we are just going to ignore that is there at the moment. So I'm going to enter my room, and this is the scrappy closet. So I'm going to go back so you can see stuff from this angle. So I have the closet, my desk, my drawers, and over here I got my bookcases. So I'm going to start with the closet. That is the main place of where all my scrapbooking supplies is. So this closet has 3 shelves and 3 drawers, in which I keep all my most of my scrapbooking supplies. So I'm going to start from top to bottom. Now the changes I made here in this closet were all 3 of those drawers, kind of, and the second shelf had a few switcheroos, and the first one had a bit, like, very tiny changes up there. So I'm going to start from top to bottom. So this shelf here still remains my memorabilia shelf for the most part. So I have memorabilia. This just shows how much stuff I have to scrapbook. So I have daily memorabilia here. I have stuff from my Malta trip. That's 1. My Rome trip is not here, but my Malta trip, my Paris trip, and my school Greece trip, 3. And I also have stuff from the States. So I have 3 big trips that I have to scrapbook, and I have yet to do them. And also I have my Rome album, which is yet to be finished. So at least the pictures are printed for that. The Paris one is a huge mess. I don't even know where those pictures are. But anyway, so that's what I have in this jumble of mess here. Oh, I also got some birthday cards that I want to put in an album of some sort. And then I'm going to see if I can set you down. Oh, sorry for my finger. Okay. And then this album right here is has photos. So before I got a printer at home, I used to print my photos in advance. So all the ones that I have not scrapbooked are in here. I'm probably not going to scrapbook them again with them anyway, but I'm not going to throw them out. So I'm just going to keep them in there. Moving over here, I was a bit too close, but I'm just trying to not shake my the camera too much. So anyway, here I got a mismatch of things. This is mostly extras. So I have all these scraps of paper, which if you watched my process videos, you know I've been using these quite a lot lately. So that's why I keep them up here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, okay. I don't have 12 by 12 cardstock. I have big A3 pads, which I'll show you in a bit. And I cut them down to they're 12 by 12. And then these are the excess parts. And I tend to use this because it adds a lot of texture to mat photos with. So that is that. And then I have some A4 photo paper here and some label stickers, which I never use, but I just thought, since I have the space, I'm going to keep it here. And then the new thing here, which is stupid, I just moved my A4 sheet protectors, page protectors over here rather than on my bookshelf. And technically this could go in my school related area, because that's mostly where I use these, but since I had the space to stack them here, I thought I'd add them here to open up some space in my bookshelf. And then these two containers remain the same. So these, sorry for the shaky part, these are from Leroy Merlin, which is a kind of, what is it called, like a, it's sort of like an IKEA, but a much not so fun version. It has like, so I keep putting my fingers on the camera. Okay, it has, what is it called? It has like kitchen stuff and stuff to build a house with, like you would normally go. And then it has the outdoor section. So these are actually meant to be pots for plants, but I got these. I've had these for years. And yeah, so I use them as pencil holders or whatever you want to call them. So this one here has colored pencils. I never use this, which is why it's in the closet and not somewhere else. And then the one back here has these like kind of alcohol kind of marker thingies from Tiger, and there's also a metallic pen in here. So I don't reach for these all that often either, which is why they're in on the shelf, because I do have a couple more of those that are somewhere else. Well, actually they're on that second shelf. So that is this first shelf, pretty boring shelf. And then the fun stuff comes to the second shelf. So this one looks quite full, and it seems like you can't access things all that easily, but in fact you can. That is something I struggle with quite a lot. So I have 3 of these containers from, yikes, sorry for the noise, from IKEA, and these are called, I don't know, that is their like kind of number if you want to check them out. And they are sort of, I think they're meant for the kitchen. They're sort of in the kitchen stuff section. But of course, sorry, my camera is not focusing. Let me get that to focus. There we go. Sorry about that. So I got 3 of these containers. 2 of them have a white lining and 1 of them has a green lining. And in them, I use them for various different things. So, I've had this one for a long time, but I recently got the other 2. And that is what caused this huge change. So I got rid of some stuff that was in here, and now I have my 3 baskets and a mismatch of things down there. So let's start off. So this one has all my little scraps of paper that fit in it. So they're pretty small, most of them. And there's paper I love and I don't want to throw out, but I've used either the collection that it was with or the pad of paper that it was in, and there's no place else but in this bin to put it, and it's really tiny pieces. But I thought I could use them either for smaller layouts, like if I happen to make a 6x8 layout, or if I wanted the smallest piece of paper to tuck in somewhere, or if I wanted to punch things out, this would be the place where I would go, because I have a lot of little different pieces to punch shapes out of, as you can see. I do have some full 4x6 pages because I had this idea that I'm going to make 4x6 layouts. Some of these that could be great as backgrounds. So I stuck that in there because I put the whole paper pad in there and this was the only sheet left, full sheet left, so I stuck it in there. So anyway, that is the one bin. And now I don't grab this so often, but I want to be able to see it, which is why it's in the front, and I can still access everything in the back part of the shelf pretty easily. So, and I can always remove this, sit it on top, and do what I want there and just put it back if I have to do that. But I mean, I can easily reach in and grab a pen or this bag or stuff. So that's staying there because then it also reminds me to pull my scraps, and it's also it just looks prettier if the bin is in front rather than the back. Well, at least I think so. So I'm gonna move it so I can show you guys in detail the containers I got here. So this is my adhesive container. This is again from IKEA. I think this is in the kids section. I don't know, but I've had these for a long time. I'm sorry, there's no name on that. So you get, I think you get these in sets of 3, and there's supposed to be a lid on top of here, but I took it off because I didn't want it. So in here I have all my adhesives, so my tape, my liquid glue, my zig writer, glue pen, my just the scissors that I don't know what else to put, so I stick it in there. And not all of this adhesive is my go-to, but I'm gonna keep it in there until I use it up. My go-to adhesive is my tape, this one, and this one for sequins or smaller pieces that I don't want to get wet glue anywhere, or it's too much of a hassle to put tape on. I also got some foam tape in there, which I don't really need since I got a lot of foam, but anyway, that's that container. Then I got this little container. This is, I don't know, it was like a party favor from a birthday party a long time ago. So in here, there's 3 drawers. So in the first drawer I have glitter hearts, and I stuck them in there because the glitter falls off and I did not want to get glitter everywhere, so I got those. And then I have paper, sorry, trying to figure out how to use this camera without shaking it too much. Okay, and then in here I got paper clips that are shaped. So I got some bicycles, I got some numbers, and I just have what's in there written. I have stars and so on. And then in the last drawer I have this, I think they're called like bulldog paper clips. They're really tiny ones that I tend to use. I used to use at least a lot on my layouts. And then I got another one of these pot thingies, and in here I got my go-to gel pens. These are all by Pilot. I got some Sharpies and my cat pens, which I love. And of course my Staedtler pigment liners, because I use these all the time. So that's in there. These used to be on my desk, but that got a bit messy. I'll show you the container they used to be in. So I just pulled this out of there. And then this one now contains paintbrushes and palette knives and a toothbrush, because it sometimes I splatter things with that. And then in the very back I got my foam, or at least some of my foam that I use to back for pop-up photos and stuff. So I got a sample of it there so I can easily access it. I can just pull it out, and I have it in a Ziploc bag from IKEA as well. And then over here, this is my trusty embellishment basket. Now it looks a lot emptier than it normally is because I have a lot of embellishments in my July Scrapathon kits at the moment. So this is a bit emptier than it usually is. And here I got all my stickers and such that I can just flip through and find what I need. And because I pull this like first, I have this next to me when I scrapbook because this contains a lot of my embellishments. This will normally not be in here when I scrapbook it. So then when I want to go get some alpha stickers, I can just pull my alpha sticker basket out. So this is new as well. My alphas used to be in a drawer in a container that I have on my bookshelf, which you'll see in a bit. But I switched them over to here because I felt it was easier to just flip through and see which ones I want to use. And since I've accumulated quite a few in the past couple of months from grab bags and stuff, I have them in there. And then here I got my trusty Tim Holtz stickers, and then I got some loose alphabets in here in Ziploc bags, again from IKEA. So that lives back there, and the stickers also can steady themselves on the wall of the closet. And I really like my basket system. Before I had this plastic one, I had like a real life weaved basket, but that wasn't working. It was a bit smaller and I needed a bigger one and a little bit more modern, so not modern, just smooth, so the stickers wouldn't get cut onto the to the basket. So that is the second shelf. And moving on to the third shelf. Now the third shelf, sorry, I'm just sliding my chair over because I think that will help me steady my arm a bit. So the second shelf has all my paper. So I store my paper in a few different ways. So on this side, I got this bag of Christmas stuff that has paper and embellishments. This is actually the side of collections. So I store my collections with the paper and the embellishment packs. Again, a lot of these are missing because they're in kits. but I'll try and find a full one that I can show you guys. So, okay, let's take A Lovely Day by Dear Lizzie. So, I have in here, I got, these are 12 by 12 Ziploc bags, by the way, not 12 by 12, they are, where is this? There are the jumbo size Ziploc bag by Hefty. I don't know how many gallons or whatever they fit, but anyway. So in here I got the 6x6 paper pad, any stickers that came, any embellishments that were not die cuts, because I store my die cuts elsewhere, and the 12 by 12 paper. So when the 12 by 12 paper is gone, my 6x6 paper pads will go over there with the other 6x6 paper pads that don't have anything to go with them. I don't have any 12 by 12 paper to match, and this will go up in my embellishment basket right there. So that is how I store stuff. So over on this side of the snail is there to keep these from falling, and if I add more product and this fills up, that snail won't be necessary. So over here I got collection kind of things, so 6x6 paper pads with their 12 by 12 paper and their embellishments. I also have 12 by 12 sticker sheets that I didn't know where else to put. I only have a couple of those. So this alphabet set, and I also have this chipboard. So that's what's on this side. Oh, and also on these bags, I have a little label that tells me which collection it is, what I have from the collection, and what's in the bag and what's not in the bag. So for example, this collection has, I also have the ephemera pack and the tags and labels, which are in my die cut organization section. So I highlighted those, and I know that when I pull this collection to work with it, I know that I also have those somewhere. I mean, the labels aren't really necessary because I know what I have, since I don't have such a huge stash. I know that I have which embellishments I have to go with which collections, but I just kept that. I just made those labels just in case. Now over here is the tricky part. This is a bit of a mismatch of things. So I have this is a collection that I got from Paris that I was supposedly going to use on my Paris album, which is yet to be made. And then this is a paper pad. So, okay, let me start with the 6x6 paper pad. So I store my paper pads in these A5 folders, because that just contains all the scraps and all the just loose pieces of paper all together. So that's where I keep my 6x6 paper pads that don't have 12 by 12 paper to go with them. There's also some 6 by elbows back there. Don't mind them. I didn't know where else to put them. And then I have this 8x8 paper pad, which I store in an A4 size folder. And here I have some paper pads that are A4 sized that I got from, this one's from Little and this one's from Tiger. And then these are my A4 paper folders. So in here, I'm just going to open one. So theoretically, I would have put these two in here as well, but I wanted to use them once or twice before I put them in here. So in here, this is just like I don't know what to call this. It's like it's a folder that has sleeves attached to the spine, and you just flip through it. So it's an A4 size folder. So I just got all my paper in here. I can flip through and find what I need, and it contains all the scraps and stuff as well, because these are mostly paper pads from Tiger, and those tend to have 4 sheets of each paper, so this way I can keep all the scraps of each pattern together. So I got 2 of these folders. This one's more of a day-to-day, sorry for my legs, day-to-day stuff, and then the other one, I'm not gonna even try to put that back right now. And the other one has mostly holiday stuff, and it's a bit more empty. So these would normally go in there, but since I have yet to use them, I thought I would use them a couple times before I add them in there. Then I have collection packs for the most part over here. So, and my loose paper. So, I have, let's see, so this is actually the Hip Kit Club, June kit that I got during the Black Friday sale that I've disbanded, but I've kept the paper together to sort of serve as another single paper place because they supposedly all match anyway, but I can also just pull out an individual paper and use it if I want to. So I just kept them together. And I have a bunch of different collection packs here. I have some specialty paper, more collection packs. As you can see, I love my collection packs because you can get them at Hobby Lobby for like on clearance for $5. I think like most of not that one, but like this one I got for $5, and you get 12 paper, I think it's 12 papers, puffy stickers and alphas, and it was on clearance. So that was a really good deal. That's why I have so many collection packs, and I also love using them. So, and then this is a new addition to this area of the scrap room. This is all my cardstock. Yeah, it's mostly A4 cardstock, but I also have some like A3 size cardstock as well. So I have the space to keep it for the time being, even though I don't use it all that often. So it's going to stay in my stash until I don't have any space for it, or until I use it or whatnot. And that used to be, I just had it all thrown into the last drawer down here. But I decided that I wanted to use that drawer a bit more, use it for something a bit more useful, rather than waste it on a whole bunch of cardstock that I could easily fit here. And also I had my foam down there as well. So moving on, I'm going to open this first drawer. So all these drawers have mixed media related things, and I used to contain the mixed media stuff in two drawers, and the last one had cardstock, and I also had my kind of favorites in a box over on my bookshelf, but I decided it was more efficient to put them here. So I'm gonna start. So ideally I would have liked this drawer to be on the bottom because it's the one I pull stuff from the less, and the bottom drawer to be on the top, but I had pulled all these drawers out and laid them on the floor to organize them, and I didn't realize I put stuff in the wrong drawers. So I'm just going to go with it for the time being, and if it gets on my nerves, I can switch it out. So in here, I got all my acrylics. Well, not all my acrylics, just a sample of acrylics. We have a whole huge bin of them downstairs in the laundry room. Yeah, well, these are just some of the ones I chose to have up in my scrap room. And I also have a spare bottle of gesso. And then this is one of the boxes that I had. So I had this one and the larger one of the same same pattern over on my bookshelf, and this one contained random things, and the other one had my distress inks and watercolors and just like my favorite mixed media stuff. And I decided to not do that anymore, so I took the smaller one, which is this one, got rid of all the random stuff, or put it in different sections. So I have some stuff in my embellishment bin, I have some stuff in my die cut drawers, and I have some stuff with my punches. I'll tell you about that when I get to it. So I decided to put all my packaging for the packaging technique in here because it was just thrown in this drawer, the bottom drawer, and it was just getting in the way. So I decided to put it in a nice little box and store it in one of my drawers since I have the space to do that. So that's the first drawer, pretty simple. This one's a bit more complicated. So in this one I have organized my things a bit better so it's easier for me to access them. So I have my chalk pastels, I have this random little mustache stamp, my stencil set, and then I have this acrylic soft body in white, which I cannot get to open, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to open it. Also it can fit at the top, which is why I just stuck it in there. And then this is the Atwell pouch from Fancy Pants, and I got this as part of a giveaway with the whole Atwell collection a couple years ago. And the zipper is broken, so I just threw stuff in here and kept it open so I could flip through it. So in here I got like these cheap inks that I don't want to throw away, so I'm storing them in here. And then I also got my roller stamps. So I think I have 3 of those. I have a date stamp, one with phrases, and then one with kind of patterns. Just threw those all in there so I can easily find them. Then this one is another one of these containers that I was talking about. I got 3 of them in this drawer. So in this one I took the lid off, but this time I just kept it underneath. I don't know why. I should just put it in my somewhere else. But anyway, and I put all the stamps that I have. I don't have a lot, but I do have a couple. So I just stuck them in here, and I can easily flip through them and see what I have and choose which one I want to use. And also when I open this drawer, I can see the stamps immediately and make myself use them. Back here in this one, I have thrown in all of my, let's see if I can open this, there we go, all of my watercolors. So I had two sets of these watercolors from Little, and the boxes were falling apart, so I just threw them in here because I know the colors that I have, and I can easily just go through and find the ones I want to use. I haven't used these in a long time. I think I should, because they have a different look in the distress inks and my other watercolors. And then this container back here has a few more extra things. So I have these makeup remover thingies that I use to apply ink, distress oxides and inks on my pages. I have these that I sometimes use as a sort of stamp. These are like rolls of washi tape that run out. And then I have sorry, can't seem to get this to stay in one place. Okay, I have two like refills for my Pebeo watercolor stuff, so I'm keeping them in there until my original ones are completely out. So I have them in another box, and they just look pretty over here. So there's that drawer, and then the last drawer is pretty empty actually. I mean, it's not that full, but I have the space to expand stuff, so I'm doing it. So in here I have my distress inks, my distress oxides, the gesso that I'm using currently, not the spare bottle, and I have my Ranger pigment ink pad because that's the ink pad I use most often when I stamp things. So, and my distress oxides. So this is like my go-to mixed media stuff. And then I have my Pebeo watercolors over there. So these things, you can pull these out and replace them when they're out, and that's what those replacements were in the other container. This is like the sample thing of all the colors. I just paintbrushed and did that. I have some bubble wrap in here, and then in this folder I have all of my stencils. I only have like 3-4 stencils, so I just stuck them in there. So that is the last drawer, and that also completes the whole closet here. So now I'm going to move on to my desk, which my desk is a bit chaotic. So I'm going to go from left to right. So I have a lamp there. These are stuff, pages, stuff I'm working on, which shouldn't be here normally. What should be on my desk normally, like my calculator thing, should not be here either. They should be in a drawer somewhere. Sorry, you can just see my arm there. So all this stuff should not be here, but it is because I was too lazy to put it away. So I have my lamp, which should be here, and my little dish in which I store, when I pull out a set of die cuts or something when I'm making a kit, I put them in here so I can easily flip through them. So that is always on my desk because it's also really pretty. That shouldn't be on my desk. These boxes should only be on my desk when I'm filming, not when I am studying and stuff, but it's just a kind of like a hat. It's not really all that big of a deal, but usually they should be under my desk when I'm not using them. So this is my convoluted filming stand. So just have a bunch of boxes stacked up. My pencil case shouldn't be there. And then I have a selfie stick literally duct taped onto the top of that. And I just stick my phone up there and film while I'm crafting down here. So yeah, that's my very weird contraption. And then over here, none of this should be on here. The only thing that should be on my desk is that container with my pens. But I do have my one of my kits that I'm working on currently, and an unfinished project from like 7 months ago. Just an assortment of things that should not be here. This should only be clean. So that's where I used to have those gel pens that I showed you that are in my closet now. But it was getting a bit too full, so I decided to just keep stuff that I use for schoolwork in that container. And that is a makeup container, supposedly. I didn't, obviously not using it for that, from Tiger. So that is the top of my desk. And then moving on to the drawers. So this whole thing can be pulled out of under the desk. There's wheels on it. So at the top of it, I have random different notebooks. I should really go. Most of them are usually I have some spare paper notebook things, and then I also have most of this stuff I use for scrapbooking, planning videos and things, and it needs to be organized. This is one of the things that I did not get a chance to organize, so I was just going to ignore that section. I just have random notebooks and things that I use to organize my scrapbooking, my YouTube channel. The first drawer here is not scrapbooking related. It just has office things. So I have tape, I have paper clips, I have money, I have a bunch of different keychains. So I've started to buy keychains every time I go somewhere. So this is why I got one from Madison, one from Lawrence University when I went there for a Nike swim camp, one from Rome, this is from Malta. So anyway, just random office stuff. I have my, I don't know, this is called a compass. I don't know what it's called in English. Sticky notes and stuff, so that's all in the first drawer, not scrappy related. Then we get to the good stuff. So the second drawer here has these two containers from IKEA. I'm not sure if you can purchase them anymore. And this is where I store all my die cuts. So some of them are currently empty because the die cuts are in my kits. But these are all full when I'm not working with kits. So in here, I just have them stored by collection. So for example, here I have the Hello Sunshine tags, and I also keep this thing to see, so I can able to see what came in the package. This is the ephemera pack, and then I have this one is actually empty, I think, most of the time. So I just stuck that in there. This is the Dear Lizzie Lovely Day die cut pack. These are cut aparts from that same collection from the 6x6 paper pad. Here I have another die cut pack. Here I have die cut word stick phrases usually from Dear Lizzie, and here I have some cut aparts. And then this is my random thing, like the graveyard of die cut packages. So when a die cut package has like maybe 4 or 5 die cuts left, I just throw them all in here, and when I scrapbook, I can just go through and find. If none of the collections are working, I go through this and see if I can find something. And then this one, I don't want to pull these out because it's kind of a hassle when you only have one hand available. This one has all my tags, and you just flip through. There's some taller ones behind that you can't see. Just flip through and find a tag that I need. So that's the first drawer. The second drawer has one of these containers, and in this one there's more die cuts. So I have die cuts in here and here. This is a bunch of sequins and twine, and this is these random glittery foam Easter themed things that I have space for, to stuck them in there. And then here I store all my Project Life cards and cut aparts from 12x12 papers. So there's that, and I also have them labeled by collection. So there's that as well. And then here, these should not be here. They should be organized somewhere, but I just threw them in there for the time being. And then the third drawer has another one of these containers. This one's a bit more minimalistic. This is at the bottom because I don't use it all that often. So here I have an assortment. These were all in that random box. So I have some Halloween themed sequins, some Easter themed sequins. And then I have my washi tape back there, and this is my random embellishment. This is the dimensional embellishment graveyard. So when like a sheet of puffy stickers is almost gone and I have 3 left, I stick them in here, or like a random piece of flair, stuff like that. That is the dimensional embellishment graveyard. And then in here I have some glitter that I never use, but I keep it anyway. So those are my drawers. And then last but not least, I got my bookshelves. So I also went through, I purged some of my books and gave them to my little sister because they were older books that I'm not going to read again. And that allowed me to clear out the whole bottom shelf, which I'm going to dedicate to school things. But since it's summer, there's no school things at the moment. So I'd have the July Scrapathon layouts down there, which they shouldn't be, but I thought I'd just stick them down there for the time being. Then I have one scrapbooking shelf, 2 scrapbooking shelves, and then this one is all school again. Then I have reading books, and in there I have my stamp collection and older school books. So I'm gonna zoom in on these two shelves right here, and this one here pretty much stayed the same as last time. So I got my 12 by 12 albums, my December daily. I have some, this is like when I have extra paint, I just stick it down in there. I have my mixed media backgrounds that I need to use at some point. I have some, I have my journals from Paris, from my Paris trip. I have my top 10 list book that I need to make some pages in. I have a random notebook here, and then all my layouts that need to be put in albums, or at least page protectors, but I don't have any of those, so they just sit here until I get some. And then this here, I got this new container, which I adore, the other day. This is what prompted the whole Scraproom rearranging scenario. So this shelf, I know the sun is a bit weird. I'm sorry guys, the lighting is a bit off. So I have two containers. I have this drawer container and this desk organizer. It's supposed to be used for, but not using it for that. And then I have some magazines. Okay, so I'm gonna start from over here. So these are those A3 pads that I told you that I just use as cardstock for a white cardstock. So I got a bunch of those. On top of this container, I have some extra Ziploc bags and a bunch of different, and that sort of sewing kit. And then in the drawers, so this first drawer used to have all my thickers and alphas, but they didn't fit anymore. So I decided to put my punches in here. So I had a plastic container with all my punches. And I went through and got rid of a bunch. Well, I think I just gave them to my mom to put elsewhere in the craft section, the kids craft section, because I don't use them in scrapbooking. So I have my trusty heart punch. And then this one I use quite often, but these others I don't use all that often, but they are the ones that I'm going to use if I were to use another stamp, another punch other than this. I don't think that makes any sense, but these are the ones I use the most frequently. And by frequently, I mean like maybe once a year. But this one, I've been using this one a lot lately. Then I have some extra punch outs here from a project that I didn't end up using them on. So that is the first drawer. Trying to get the lighting to focus. Okay. So the second drawer is the same. This is the textures drawer. So I have tissue paper and doilies in here, and like this, I don't know what to call this paper, but it's mostly tissue paper and doilies from random different places. Oh, and I have this adhesive fabric set as well. So there's that. Some of this tissue paper I bought, some of it was used to wrap things, and stuff like that. So that is the second drawer. I'm sorry, I keep showing you guys my lights, so you don't want to see that. And then the third drawer is another drawer where I keep extra things. So I have like some blue tack, I got extra staplers, I have extra notebooks, I have a few bits of ribbon that I don't use, so I just stuck them in here. More notebooks. What the heck is it? Oh, that's the ATG manual thingy. I have a hole punch on here and some extra Sharpies and trimmer blades and glue, things like that in there. So yeah, I'm going to leave this for last and quickly tell you about this. This is all my scrapbooking related magazines and books. So I have 4 of these paper craft. I have a bunch of different paper craft magazines from the UK that I sometimes find here in Cyprus, and then I have this book that I got for Christmas one year, and then this, my new favorite container. This is, again, I'm just gonna move it over here, the lighting is a bit better. This is a container from IKEA, and I think other scrapbookers have them as well, but I got the color options that were available at this time was this one, a craft color, and a leaf pattern color. But I got this one because it also matched that container with the drawers over there. So in here I'm keeping one of my kits, and I'm planning to put the kits I'm using in here, or the collection I'm going to be working with for a long period of time in here, and I can easily just find the things I need. So for the time being, I have my summer theme kit for the July Scrapathon. So in the front here, I have project life cards, washi tape, and a couple of die cuts. And then in this container, I have any scrap pieces of paper that can fit in here, and the smaller embellishments. And in here, I have the bigger embellishments and all my 12x12 paper and 12x12 sticker sheets. So that is that. I think that about completes the Scraproom tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for occasionally seeing my finger stuck in front of the camera lens. I hope you get some inspiration on how to organize your scrapbook room, especially if you're a scrapbooker like me that has limited space or doesn't have a room dedicated to scrapbooking. I think this is a fun way to use them, since I have some ideas on here. So yeah, and I also don't use conventional scrapbooking organizing things. So anyway, some tips for another thing I wanted to mention. So over here in the bookshelves, what I choose to store things that look pretty. I mean, that don't look messy, that kind of look a bit more organized, because anybody can see that, whereas not any random person is going to open my closet and see what's in it. So they have friends over, they can look at pretty things. That's why I have that drawer container there, this container, and I got my albums up there as well, as opposed to having a bunch of Ziploc bags with paper. So yeah, that is another thing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.